In previous video, we report on the fatal fall of the Iranian mountaineer Mehri Jafari and how the Iranian party she was climbing with did not bother to look for her after the fall. The Hungarian mountaineer Kovacs said about the Pobeda Peak, "It's a very demanding mountain. A few years ago, 5 out of the 20 would try to climb it. And about 4 years ago, not one of the 28 climbers on the mountain managed to reach the summit." According to Kovacs, climbers do not generally show much interest in helping search for missing people or hiding those in trouble. When they were on peak landing a few years ago, an Austrian mountaineer came down with altitude sickness. Everyone passed him without stopping. Kovacs and his partner were on their final summit push at the time, but as experienced mountaineers, they dropped their quest and helped the Austrian descent. On the day of Jafari's accident, Kovacs and Vitez were doing their acclimatization round. Kovacs and Vitez were already in Camp 2. Below them, some 200 to 300 meters away, the Iranians were climbing. Mehri Jafari was climbing with her compatriots. Although she was an independent climber and not part of their group. From Camp 2, the Hungarians began to descend to Camp 1, planning to go back up the following day. At around 4,000 meters, they crossed paths with the Iranians. They could see that Jafari had a hand injury and that she was slower than the rest of the group. She advanced slowly and seemed uncoordinated from fatigue. The Iranians, including Jafari, were carrying backpacks weighing about 20 kilograms each. They were climbing single file, glued to each other but not roped together. The next day, Kovacs and Vitez climbing back up to 6,000 meters. Mehri Jafari fell considerably behind the rest of the Iranians. She was trailing the group by 1.5 to 2 hours. Around 3 p.m., Jafari turned around, and that is when she fell. Exhausted, she took the wrong ridge down and slipped. She fell from a height of 6,300 meters, when Kovacs and Vitez were 300 meters down, just to one side. She bounced down the side of the mountain without making a sound and disappeared onto the glacier far below. Horrified, the Hungarians saw it all. In the afternoon, the weather changed abruptly. Visibility dropped to zero, and night fell shortly after. No one from base camp came up for Jafari, nor did the Iranians come down to look. However, they could have accomplished anything if they had. They didn't have no rope or proper gear and were not technically able to conduct such a search. Jafari's fall was impossible to survive since she tumbled several hundred meters. When they reached base camp, the two Hungarians and Jafari's friends Alex Stone flew by helicopter to the mountain to try to find her. After the helicopter dropped the three of them on the glacier, they immediately roped up. The glacier's surface was very uniform, so hidden crevasses could be anywhere. They were very afraid, and it was very dangerous. On the glacier, they saw a sleeping bag. They approached it in the faint hope that Jafari was inside it and miraculously alive. but she was not there. The wind had simply carried the sleeping bag to that spot. A lot of snow fell on the mountain shortly afterward. Kovacs believes that they luckily no one will ever find Jafari. I'm Morris, thank you for watching and see you next video.